It totally makes sense that cloud storage be the next market to adapt. I think there's no reason why everyday computers couldn't be hosting this data. It just takes the right protocol, it takes the right vision behind it. This is not unknown either. I mean, people have been trying to do this for a couple of years at this point.
Welcome back to Investment Tribe, where you've subscribed because you want to learn all about cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and other digital assets. Don't forget to leave us a thumbs up and enable the notifications so you'll be alerted whenever we post a new video. Today, we will tackle another great benefit of using blockchain technology: file storage. We will explain how it works, what are the companies that offer blockchain file storage, and what are the advantages of it over local and cloud storage. It seems that most companies are trying to adopt blockchain technology nowadays, from finance to healthcare to entertainment to logistics. It's truly a revolutionary technology that will possibly change the way humans live, work, and play. Every one of us has files now: images, documents, audio, video, and so much more. And our storage devices like flash drives and hard drives will always have limited capacity. And also, since these are physical objects, a huge disadvantage is the risk of damaging the device, and it will be very hard to retrieve your files when that happens. That's why when they max out or we just want easier access to our files, our next option is to put them in the cloud. Dropbox, Google Drive, iCloud, Microsoft OneDrive, and Amazon Web Services offer cloud storage to users with a considerable maximum capacity. If you want much larger storage, there will be a fee like $140 a year for 2 terabytes on Dropbox, while Google offers $120 a year for 1 terabyte. Those are relatively high costs, especially that there's a huge disadvantage when using these cloud services. They all present a single point of failure, and it brings many risks to our files. One is they could experience data outage that could make our files inaccessible for hours or even permanently. And two, since all of your files are on the same place, a malicious attack or hacks could lead to data leaks and privacy breaches. Remember the iCloud hack that exposed private photos of Hollywood celebrities? It happened to them. It might happen to us too. Well, actually, several times it happened already. Let's just look at Dropbox and list down 2 of the major attacks that happened to the cloud service. In 2012, Dropbox was hacked, which led to the leaking of over 68 million user data, including personal details, email addresses, and passwords. Imagine 68 million people. That many people can be considered an independent country. Users were prompted to immediately change their password. Imagine getting a notification telling you to change your password because it got leaked. Pretty scary. 2 years later, in 2014, it happened again with Dropbox. But this time, users' mortgage applications and income tax returns were exposed. But the law says that Dropbox was not obligated to inform users that a data breach happened even though they were the ones affected by it. I think this makes sense if you consider the massive panic that will happen to the users. That's why I think this law prevents that from happening. It's not just Dropbox that is vulnerable to attacks. All of these cloud services can be hacked anytime. And even if they increase their cyber personnel to tighten the security, your files will never be considered to be fully private because they retain the right to access your files anytime. Another thing is these services lacks what's called zero-knowledge encryption. Zero-knowledge encryption means that no one, not even the host, holds the key to your data. Dropbox and the others don't implement the system. So now we will look at blockchain-based file storage, the one that claims to be the ultimate solver of these problems. It's not a physical item like our hard drive, so it does not have the risk of damaging. And your files are saved in a decentralized network so as to avoid a single point of failure. And several companies now offer this service, like Saya, Bluzelle, Swarm, Cryptic, and Storage. Filecoin, another one of these companies, launched its mainnet in October of 2020. So, how does it work? Blockchain-based file storage works by breaking down your files and then storing them across multiple computers, or what we call nodes. So that's why it's on a decentralized network with no single point of failure or single authority who is in charge of your files. This solution brings greater privacy, faster speeds, minimal file loss, and even cheaper prices to the users. So to get even more detailed, this is how a decentralized file server works. Now, there are several models regarding blockchain-based storage systems. They even have what's called the hybrid model, wherein the files would be both stored on and off the blockchain. But typically, they work by splitting up or sharding, and then encrypting your uploaded files. Finally, these encrypted, broken down files are distributed across a robust, worldwide network of nodes with competitive prices set with each one. Remember that these nodes are just computers all over the world? So even your very own computer can be a node to the network. That's what I mean when I said competitive prices. From personal to industrial computers, they can rent out their devices as long as they have unused disk space. Prices are set between renters and users, ensuring a fair, free market-driven rate. The payments are then given as the blockchain's own token. So how are the prices compared to Dropbox or Google Drive? Well, on average, renting 1 terabyte of storage space from Saya goes around $2 per month, or $24 a year. This all depends on the price of Saya's token, but it's still way cheaper than the Dropbox or Google Drive. Now, you might be asking, how can I retrieve a file if it was split up? For that, they use the same process that's been used by torrent clients like BitTorrent for a very long time. It's that peer-to-peer system where you download each of the fragments of your files from the nodes that have them. This results in a faster speed, the same reason why BitTorrent downloads files much faster than a browser. The smaller fragments are downloaded at the same time. Even if one node is offline, the fragments are replicated across multiple nodes, ensuring that you will get your file whenever you want it. This also ensures that there will be minimal file loss because there are multiple copies of your file spread within the network. For instance, you uploaded a file on Saya. It gets broken down into 10 shards or fragments. Each one will be replicated 2 times, so now the total shards are 30. This 30 will then be distributed around the world. Again, another benefit is greater privacy because no single computer stores your whole file, just shards of it. So the person who owns the computer that stores the file will not have a clue about the contents of your file. So even if one computer was hacked and compromised, the hackers will only get portions of the file, which is practically useless, and you will still get that fragment from other nodes. You won't even know if one of the computers that stores your files was hacked because the operation stays normal. This is what they mean by decentralized or no single point of failure. With blockchain-based file storage, users only pay for what they need, unlike those subscription-based services that have a fixed price. It's like when you have a precious ring and you store it in a whole storage unit instead of just a tiny jewelry box. It's more flexible. Whether you need to store a single Word document only or a 1 GB MP4 video, you will pay just the corresponding amount for it. That's why many companies are getting in on the action with blockchain-based file storage. It's so much better than our traditional cloud systems. Some are targeting mass consumer adoption, while others are more focused on the enterprise. Even the tech giant IBM tested the waters by introducing a hybrid multi-cloud blockchain storage system. Despite all of this, there is still a long way to go before the masses adopt this system. There are still obstacles that need to be addressed. I won't get to those issues in this video, but I would still pretty much prefer this blockchain system to the cloud because of all the reasons listed earlier. I would rather split up my files and distribute them to multiple computers all over the world than give them to a single authority only. With decentralized solutions, they cut out the middleman for our data, returning ownership, privacy, and security. And for a cheaper price too. We can even assume now that this might be the backbone storage layer by Web 3.0. In my opinion, decentralization is the future of file storage. So that's our video for today. What do you think? Do you now want to try this blockchain-based file storage? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Well, that's all for now. This is Investment Tribe. See you again tomorrow. Keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe.